Hey Adolfo, Matthew here again with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut your prescription in your RayBan 8412, color 2503, size 52. And let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to take your frame out of the original packaging. RayBan sends it to me in your cool carbon frame. This is part of the special series. This is a semi-rimless in this really cool color. That carbon fiber, whatever they call that. Spring hinges. We are good to go. It looks like spring hinges. So not, I guess the thing is flexible in and of itself. It just looks like that. Okay, so this is a nylon rimless, and the first thing I want to do is, as you know, we have to get a 180 meridian on there. Some people like to use the lensometer for that. I like actually a little bit wider print, so what I do is, this is my, from Vigor Tool Catalog, my prescription aligner, part number GA222, in case you need one. But I'm going to put your frame on top of that. I'm going to take my red marking pen from the lab, which I'm sure you have, and I'm going to put two dots a good distance away from each other. Make sure that is on there perfectly. Don't like the one on the right. Let's clean that up. Put another one there. Get this lined up perfectly. So, I'll hold that up to the light so I can see a little bit better. Now let's put that other one on there. And we are good now. Good to go. So, put the pen down. I'm going to measure your frame PD, starting the corner of this lens and working to the corner of the other one. I am getting 69 millimeters. So I'm going to write that onto the back of the lens, 69. I'm going to use my lens axis pliers and pop that out. Out comes your lens, and now the reason I put those two dots on there, now I'm going to take one of my 3M leap pads that I use. I've cut them in half. Oops, don't come out of the wall. Don't come out of the wall. Not on my account. Okay. I'm going to stick half the pad on there, pull away the double-sided tape. And of course, you may do it differently, but this is the way I like to do it. And now with those two dots, I'm going to line it up with that straight edge that's in the background. That's why I like to have a little bit wider. The lensometer puts it right on top of that pad, and I don't see as well. And we are good. That is lined up perfectly. I'm going to put your lens into the tracing element of my Santinelli LE1000 patternless edger, and the stylus is going to come up and trace the shape of your lens. Round and round it goes, only one time, here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. So that is that. I'm going to pull up the shape of your lens now. I'm going to type in your frame PD, which I wrote on the lens, of 69. That way I'll never forget it. That is 69. Your pupillary distance is 57 millimeters. So let me bring that down and program that into the computer. We're at 57, which means we need a 68 millimeter blank in order to cut out. The B measurement is 14.2, and this is a polycarbonate lens. I'm going to cut on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare coating. And this is a rimless frame. And I always like to cut those about 1/4 millimeter big, just so they fit in there snug. So 69 millimeters is the frame PD. Your PD is 57. Polycarbonate lens being cut on the soft cycle for a semi-rimless and 0.25 big. So your right lens reads -2 at 3. So I'm going to take your lens. I'm going to spin the axis wheel on my Marco 101 lensometer to 3. I'm going to put your lens in there and put the power drum at -2. And I'm going to put your lens in and rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. Actually, zero out your lensometer. I know you've been taught to do that. Zero out the lensometer. Now let's put it on too. Adjust your eyepiece, all of that. Put your lens in, get it rotated where it comes in perfectly. Check the cross curve, which is the second curve of your astigmatism. I'm going to get that lined up just perfectly in my lensometer, so there is no unwanted prism. Always the battle that we fight, always. So I'm at -2. When I spin the axis wheel, I'm getting -4. So I'm going to put some dots on your lenses, of which you cannot see because they're too light. So I'm going to go back to that 180 meridian, back to my red pen, 1 dot, optical center, 3rd dot, and this is the right lens, so I will mark it L for right. Now your left lens, -2, -150 at 175. Yeah, you heard that, you caught that. Spin the axis wheel to 175. Begin power drum back to -2. Put the lens in the lensometer, rotate it until the sphere power comes in perfectly clear. Check your astigmatism. Get everything lined up in the middle of my optical crosshairs. -2, -350. So that gives me -2 with a 150 cylinder. Put some dots back on your lenses, which you can't see, so I will darken them. And I'm going to put an R on this one for left. That's right, you heard it again. I'm dyslexic. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just not paying attention. And so, I am paying attention. I just like to see if you're paying attention. So this is the block that I used in my Santinelli edger. I need to put it on the lens while it is cutting, so I'm going to put the block in the Speedy blocker, which, look at this. How many years has this thing been around? But they never die. So back to the 3M sticky pad. The black side is the sticky side. You know that, but everyone watching for the first time might not. I'm going to stick that on the block, pull away the tape to reveal the double-sided, and I'm going to line everything up to my optical crosshairs. Again, I've got a vertical meridian and a horizontal meridian. I just make sure that everything is lined up perfectly there. Let's do the same thing for your left lens. Put the block on there. 3M sticky pad. And pull the tape away, and there we go. I ordered these pads from Dynamic Laboratories there in New York City. There is that. Oh, you know what? You wanted a polished edge. Let's put that on there. Polish, polish. So, because of the anti-glare coating, I'm going to put a rear side sticker, back surface sticker. As you know, that anti-glare coating is a hydrophobic coating, making your lenses very slippery when cutting. So I'm putting an additional sticker on the back so it won't slip in the chuck. So I'm going to put the right lens into place and hit start. The calipers are going to come down and then trace the shape of your right lens onto the concave side of the lens first, which is closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens, which sits away from the face. All the while measuring the thickness to know exactly where to put the rimless groove bevel so it stays inside the string of the frame. The cutting wheel, for just like always, down at the bottom on the left, it's that lighter color wheel. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away your lens material. And then this arm is going to come down and cut that bevel into the lens. I will have to close the door, but I just want you to see as the first of your prescription lenses touches down onto the cutting wheel. So your lenses are the polycarbonate material, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection. We both know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive. So this is permanent sunscreen for your eyes, and not only are they the high quality lenses, it's a high quality aspheric lens, meaning that it's flatter. It will not give you that fishbowl appearance that cheap cosmetic lenses will do. I will also be including instructions on how to care for your RayBan case and your RayBan cleaning cloth so it will last you for years. No other seller on the internet is doing that right now. Of course, I'm going to throw in one of mine as well, just so you're well balanced. That way you keep one at work, one at home, one in the car, one at school, whatever you need. So the frame sells for $230. Of course, when you buy the frame from me, you get free prescription lenses, and you just pay the upgrade to $40 for the anti-glare coating. Of course, as you know, that anti-glare coating, it's 3 features in one. The anti-glare will eliminate glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead lights, fluorescent lights. It's an anti-reflection lens, which makes for much better eye contact. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. Of course, the reason why most people get it, if someone takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens. The third feature that I like, the practical side, is it comes with the industry's best scratch protection, because they have to protect that anti-glare coating. So they put the best scratch protection on there. A little bit of Schwarf. Always love when I can pull that off while it's cutting. So we're almost done. The lens is still completely flat all around the edge. It's now going to go and just smooth that out once again. And then the groove arm is going to come down and cut the groove onto the lens. Ooh, good piece right there. Oh, did I get it? I got it. I was fast enough. You know, of course, as you know, that is called Schwarf. When I first heard that in school, I raised my hand and wanted to call BS. But my teacher, I was just telling on myself because I hadn't read the textbook material to find out, yes, indeed, it is called Schwarf. And so now I say, may the Schwarf be with you. For any Mel Brooks friends out there who remember. Mel Brooks fans, you may be a friend of Mel Brooks. I'm referring to Mel Brooks' fans. Now this arm's going to come down, start spinning, throw water onto the camera lens. Let's dry everything off. And now it is going to cut the groove onto the lens. Good piece of Schwarf right there. That's like a giblet, a little gizzard. Parts is parts. And in just a moment, the water jets will kick back in. As you can see, there is water running in the background. Polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index cuts wet. Now it's going to move over in time for the safety bevel. I mean, not safety bevel, the polish. Now it's going to the wheel on the far right, where it will polish your edges at your request. I myself am not the biggest fan of polish just because you have the anti-glare coating on there. As we know, the anti-glare eliminates glare from coming in the lenses, but the polished lenses have removed the opaque finish and made it transparent, so light does come in from the side and glare. You are now introducing glare back into your lens by having a polished edge. Although some people like the cosmetic look of the profile of your lens, it's always an age-old dilemma. Do you want the person to look better or to see better? And hopefully with yours we'll have a combination of the two. So the water jets are coming in to wash away any optical debris that's around the edge of your lens still. And this will take all of 20 minutes. It is 7:48 on Monday, May 12th, 87 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina. Schwarf, little giblet there. Oop, I think I got a kidney or a spleen on that one. What part is this? Parts is parts. So once the lens is finished polishing, I will remove it and get it mounted into your frame. Oop, water splashed up on the face. I could feel it. Let me dry the lens off just in case it got wet. So Adolfo in Monroe, New York, who was studying respiratory therapy, I believe, or is it water spraying everywhere, is just going to touch up that groove one more time. I can't remember if it's respiratory therapy or radiation oncology. What is that? What is that called? What are the x-rays? What is that called? Oh, I can't remember. I'm having a senior moment. And I'm getting wet everywhere, so let me close the door while I was doing that. And we're just about to finish up. Now the cycle is complete. I'm going to take your right lens out and hit start. And we're now, oops, hey, we got to flip this over to left. You know the rules. You know the rules. Now let's hit left. Let's also dry everything off too. Everything got a little bit wet on that one. I'm leaving the door open. So again, the calipers are going to trace the convex side of the lens first. And then it's going to move over and trace the concave side. No, I'm sorry, concave first, convex next. First is concave, then convex. I'm hungry, I need to eat something. Work a 10-hour day with no breaks, no food, no water. Now I'm going to push the last 2 hours and go home and upload some videos to YouTube. As soon as this begins cutting, your left lens, I'm going to go ahead and keep working on your right. Okay, this block is no longer needed, so I'm going to remove it. Pull that off. Let's dry your lens off so it's not slippery. And one last thing I want to do is put the safety bevel on and take off these rough edges. So I'm going to use my hand stone. And real quick, go around the outside of your lenses, not to disturb the polished edges that I just put on there. And I use my thumbnail to scrape away the schwarf I just created. Onto the counter, and then of course wipe them on the floor. You still have some down in the bevel, so I'm going to use a toothbrush. Everyone uses all different things. I like to use a toothbrush that has never been used for anything else. My co-workers have another brush they use to scrub frames. I keep this separate so that no soap ever gets on here, so it's not slippery. But I'm just going to go and use it to scrub around the peripheral of the lens. Some people like to use the flat blade of the screwdriver, but all it takes is one little slip and now you've ruined a lens. I use a soft bristle toothbrush. And I periodically replace them because this one's getting kind of warm. Take my recycling away. But now let's go ahead and mount your lens. You've always heard the term, you got to have the right tool for the job. And that tool is a little piece of ribbon for wrapping presents, especially on Mother's Day. So I tuck it in at this corner, mount it into the top of the frame, past the nose pad guard arm, and I start on the outside. I grab it, I fold it in half so I have something to grip with. I start at the outside corner and work my way towards the nose, and when you hear the snap, there's the snap, it is in. I put my finger on the bottom of the lens, which is essentially holding the string down, and then I slide the strap out. I'm going to pull the blue sticker off now that it's no longer needed. Stick that on the counter, and I'm going to spin my axis wheel back to 003. Put your lens in. Of course, your optical center has been washed away. That is coming up perfect, clear as a bell. At -2, check for your astigmatism. We're getting -4, so -2 and -4 combined. I'm sorry, -2 and -2 gives us -4. So I'm going to put your frame back up there and pull this lens off. I'm going to send you the original demo lenses. I'm going to clean my handwriting off that had the 180 meridian and the frame PD of 69. Let me clean that off. That is good to go. And I'm going to put your original demo lenses in this bag to ship to you. Let's go ahead and remove the left lens. That is out. And I'm going to put that in the bag to ship to you. Now your prescription, -2 at 003 for the right eye. Your left eye prescription is -2 -150 at 175. The unit of measurement in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. Everything is in quarter increments, whereas 0 is no value. It's also known as plano, meaning non-prescription. And then goes up from there in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. Don't stop me now. 1 1/4, 150, 175, 2. Winner, chicken dinner. I made it to 2. So you need 8 steps of correction for your nearsightedness. This makes everything the correct size. Your astigmatism is what makes everything fuzzy. Without your glasses on, everything is actually magnified much larger than it appears. So The -2 will shrink everything down. It will actually minify. There is no word for that in the dictionary, but it's the opposite of magnify. This will minify your lens, those 8 steps. You also have 8 steps of correction for astigmatism. Astigmatism refers to a shape. It's like someone has straight hair, someone has curly hair. People freak out. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It literally just means shape. Someone has straight hair, someone has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. It fluctuates. It comes and goes. It's expensive to correct in contacts, very cheap and easy to do in eyeglasses. So this first number gets everything the correct size. This takes away the fuzzy edges, so 6s and 8s, P's and F don't look alike. That anti-glare coating is really going to help you because you get a starburst pattern when looking at oncoming lights at night when driving in the rain. And the 3 just is the fine-tune knob. These are the values. This shows me where to fine-tune for the astigmatism. If my straight edge was 0 to 180, if this were a circle, we'd have 0, 90, 180, 270, and then back to 0. We're going to turn that knob. If you can imagine my PD stick being a knob, I'm going to turn that to 3. Just the opposite on the other end. Your left eye, same amount, 8 steps of correction for your nearsightedness. Only 6 steps of correction for astigmatism, not nearly as much. You have 3/4 of that from your right eye. But it's at 175, which is on this end, so we turn that knob all the way to 175 to make everything clear for the left eye. So that is that. And I hate to tell you, with all the studying you're doing in school, it's probably going to increase in the next year or 2. Don't be surprised if you're at a -2.25 or 250 OU, which stands for both eyes. Oh me, oh you. But yes, that is a Beatles song. Obla dee, obla da, la 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 la, life goes on. Ooh, there's some good parts right there. Look at that. That's a good day when you can pull that much off of a lens. That's like when you're used to cleaning out the lint trap in your dryer. If it all comes out at once, it's going to be a good day. So this is the last of the optical bath. And it's just going to touch up the groove that we originally cut in there. So whatever the polishing wheel smoothed out. All right, let's close the door. Let's close the door. And it's just getting back to putting the groove back onto the lens. I really hope the camera lens isn't wet. That's the problem with the GoPro. You can't see what you're shooting. Okay, out comes the lens. Let's take it out of the chuck. Dry everything off again. Of course, I want to remove this. It's not needed anymore. Let's dry your lens off completely. Real quick, back to the handstone. Back to a very light safety bevel around your polished edges. Use my thumbnail to scrape off the majority of it, and then I'm going to use the wet toothbrush still to get down into that groove to scrub away any last remaining residual swarf that is down in the groove. Make sure everything is clean and polished. We are good. So let's go ahead and mount this into your frame just like before. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the very top where it goes, and then using my little ribbon, fold it in half. I'm going to grab on one side, start at the outside corner, and work my way towards the nose. When you hear the snap, oop, there it is, the snap. It is done. Place my finger on the string, pull that out. No need to keep that blue sticker on there, and we still have a little bit of optical center marked. So I'm going to darken that. And of course, I have none on your right lens. Let's put some back on your right lens. It's still on 03. Get everything lined up just perfectly. Let me darken that dot for you. Oh, where's my pen? Where's my pen? That is that. Let me inspect your left lens. Spin the axis wheel back to 175. I'm getting -2 perfectly. Another -150, giving me a total of -350. Your pupillary distance is 57. I'm going to hold my PD stick up, put the 0 on your right lens, and then when I hold it up there, we are getting 57 on the left lens. Hopefully my GoPro camera is good enough for you to see that. So the PD is perfect. One more thing I want to do before shipping to you is use my optical grade acetone to clean the red dots off of your lenses. Come on, let's get all of that, all the extra sticky that I put on there, from the pads to the back surface sticker. I'm going to hold your frame up to the light just to inspect to make sure there's no blemishes in your lenses. And we are good. And one more thing I want to do. Oops, I missed a spot. You see that? Missed a spot right there nasally. Got to get there behind that guard arm. All right, new tissue. But I do want to get your frame in standard alignment. 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get it in standard alignment before I ship it to you, meaning that it's going to go into a 3-point stance. Those 3 points. That looks better. We have the 2 temple ends, the temple tips, and the bottom of the lenses being a 3. I press down, there is no wobble. I flip it over, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure it overlaps perfectly, and then there's the same amount of tension on each side. That carbon fiber tech temple really looks great. You made a great selection with your frame. So that is it. I'm about to get these wrapped up and shipped to you. If anyone out there has any questions about what I can do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And Adolfo, hopefully you enjoyed watching your glasses being made for once. You can take the day off, and everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.